More than 4.5 million robots are already on the job worldwide. Almost everyone is locked behind a factory wall. AI is changing that, teaching robots to handle the messy, unscripted world with us. Right now, not in 10 years, right now, robots are moving through hospitals, down sidewalks, across factory floors, doing the jobs people can't, won't, or shouldn't. No fanfare. They just started working. In this video, I'll show you why AI robots are already relevant. We'll hit the 5 kinds of work, pulling them into the real world. Jobs nobody can fill, those too dangerous for people. Work that breaks the body. Tasks where precision beats strength, and the jobs an aging population will force us to solve. I'll also reveal the companies making AI robots real. And no, the main story isn't Tesla. The future didn't arrive as part of a keynote presentation. It arrived as a shift worker. For 10 years, robots meant one thing: Amazon warehouses. Hundreds of thousands of machines, sliding shelves around buildings you'll never see. That changed logistics, but it gave everyone the wrong picture. Robots became hidden, back of house, built for flat floors and no surprises. The easy mode. The real question was always whether robots could leave the warehouse and work out here in the mess with us. Hospitals are messy, sidewalks are messy, homes are really messy. For years they couldn't, now a few can, and that changes everything. To understand what flipped, meet Digit, a humanoid from Agility Robotics in Oregon. 2 legs, 2 arms, about human height. Which doesn't sound special, everyone's building a humanoid right now. But Agility did the one thing almost nobody else has. They put a humanoid to work for real customers, doing real work, for real money. Digit's been moving plastic totes in warehouses. Not dancing on a stage, just moving totes, again and again. That sounds boring. It is. And that's why it matters. The hard part was never looking impressive for 2 minutes. It was getting a robot to show up, be useful, and be worth what it costs. Once a robot earns its keep, it stops being a science project and starts looking like a hire. And that word, hire, is what everyone keeps missing. We've been trained to expect robots as companions, a friendly face in the house, a butler that folds laundry. Maybe one day, but that's not the first wave. The first wave is practical. Robots are getting pulled into jobs humans can't fill, won't fill, or shouldn't be doing. Work that's short-staffed, dangerous, exhausting, ultra-precise, or made urgent by an aging population. Once you apply that lens, you can almost predict where they show up. Number 1, jobs nobody can fill. Whole industries struggle to hire or keep people. Delivery, warehousing, farming, hotels, healthcare support. A lot of it is tiring and chronically short-staffed. Take Serve Robotics, those sidewalk delivery AI robots that look like coolers on wheels. They just move food through neighborhoods without a person making every low-value trip. And this isn't a lab toy. Serve is publicly traded, operating commercially, booking revenue, and a paying customer is the line between a demo and a market. Nobody's losing a dream job to a sidewalk cooler. It's making the trip nobody wanted in the rain for $4. The first wave doesn't start with the work people love. It starts with the work people keep walking away from. Number 2, jobs too dangerous for people. Inspecting a gas line, walking an electrical substation, going into a building after a disaster, crawling through a mine. Send a human has always quietly meant send a human into harm's way. That's why Boston Dynamics' Spot matters. Spot got famous for viral videos, but it has a real job now, inspecting industrial sites and capturing measurements where a company would rather not send a person. That's not a robot taking a job. It's a robot taking the risk. Number 3, jobs that break the body. Not work we can't staff. Work that injures the people who do it. Lifting, hauling, bending, sorting, walking the same route for hours. Boring for the brain, brutal for the back and knees. That's what Agility Robotics' Digit robot is built for. So is Figure's humanoid, tested in car manufacturing, and Boston Dynamics' new electric Atlas, headed for industrial work with Hyundai. The point isn't that the robot looks cool. It's that the machine takes the grind and frees the human for judgment and problem solving. That's the better automation. Not replacing people, because we can, but moving them off the jobs that wear them down. Number 4, jobs where precision beats strength. We assume robots are clumsy. Plenty are. But in the right setting, a machine is steadier and more repeatable than any human body. Surgery's the clearest case. To be clear, today's surgical robots aren't autonomous doctors. They're precision tools a surgeon controls. But that's the pattern. A steady machine extends what a skilled human can do. No fatigue at hour 9, no tremor, and reach that human hands don't have. Same logic in lab automation and advanced manufacturing, where a fraction of a millimeter decides if a part works. Not robots replacing expertise, robots extending it. Number 5 addresses an unavoidable reality: aging. And the population's getting older in the US and worldwide. Hospitals are stretched, caregivers are scarce, nurses are overloaded, and more people want to age at home. More people will need help, and there may not be enough humans to give it. That's where Moxi comes in. Moxi, from Diligent Robotics, is a hospital support robot. It doesn't replace a nurse, it takes the hallway errands that pull nurses from patients, meds, samples, supplies. Not a robot doctor, not a robot nurse, a robot runner. And that is incredibly helpful and important. Then the home. Companies like 1X are building humanoids for the house. That one's much earlier in its development cycle, still partly guided by a human behind the scenes. But the need is real, and need pulls technology forward. Our aging population combined with declining birth rates may be one of the biggest forces pulling robots into everyday life. Here's what could turn a trickle into a flood. Every robot I described is still limited, trained for mostly one task, usually in a specific environment. That's the bottleneck. The dream is one robot brain that learns across many bodies and many tasks, instead of training each from scratch. Companies like Physical Intelligence are working toward exactly that. Think the ChatGPT moment, but for the body instead of a chat box. We're not there yet, but once robots learn from shared data and shared experience, they stop improving one job at a time and start improving across the whole category. The hardware is only half the story. The real unlock is the brain. So why does it still feel like none of this is happening? Because we're looking the wrong way at the dramatic or science fiction robot, the humanoid on stage, the viral demo, the machine folding a shirt while everyone debates the future. And yes, Tesla's Optimus might matter eventually. The capital and talent are there. But right now, while Optimus is winning attention, the boring robots are winning customers. Announcements are easy. Deployment is hard. Revenue is harder. That's why this moment matters. The revolution isn't one humanoid getting famous, it's robots spreading into the places where real work is waiting. Here's what to walk away with. The robots are already here as workers, filling jobs nobody can staff, taking the dangerous ones, handling the work that breaks the body, extending human precision, and helping with the care gaps aging will force open. An autonomous mobile robot in a hospital at 2 a.m., a moving robotic box making deliveries using sidewalks, a humanoid lifting totes so a person doesn't wreck their back. That's how the future shows up. Quietly, usefully, on the clock. The revolution already started without much fanfare, which is exactly why most people missed it. If you want to go deeper, I have compiled new physical AI market analysis into a free research paper covering the physical AI robotics segment and a case study on Agility Robotics and their Digit robot. Want a copy? Just go to smarttechresearch.net to access the report, and please like and subscribe to track upcoming topics. Thanks for watching this SmartTechCheck EduSeries episode. I'll see you in the next one.